Ladies and gentlemen, I feel terrible. So we're going to have a drink. Well, I'm going to have a drink and we're going to talk about it. This is a drink designed specifically for my feeling terrible. The tequila has nothing to do with that, really. But this does. This is joint juice. Very old joint juice. I don't even know if they still sell this. You could see, I don't know if you can see actually, but there's residue at the bottom here. Glucosamine, chondroitin, I'm trying to find a Best Buy date on this stuff. Okay. No. Best Buy 25 April 19 or 2019. So I'm filming this in 2024. It is rather out of date. 5 years worth. See, a couple days ago I woke up with a terrible pain in my shoulder. And it was hard for me to sit up. It was hard for me to lay down. It's hard for me to do just about anything. So eventually the pain got bad enough that I went and I got this aspirin out of the cabinet. As you can see, the aspirin does not want to come out of the container. I'm not having a good day here. But what apparently happened to this aspirin is moisture got into it and got it all to clump together. But it doesn't really matter because this expired in this expired in 2008, so more than 10 years ago. And interestingly enough, this is not aspirin for pain. This is aspirin for people whose doctor has told them that they need to take aspirin every day. I am not one of those people. In fact, if your doctor doesn't tell you see, it's in clumps like this. If your doctor doesn't tell you you should take aspirin every day, then you probably shouldn't take aspirin every day. So this is extra weak aspirin that's extremely old. And won't dull the pain. I would not recommend taking this. But it's what I have. Now, it looks like what happened to me is that I have injured my rotator cuff, which is a large flat muscle in your shoulder that is designed to move. Well, it moves the muscle that moves your shoulder. I think that's basically what. What am I doing? This is garbage. Don't put that back in there. Throw it out. So I have a pain in this shoulder, and it's actually getting better now. Maybe because I took this stuff. And certainly because the body does heal over time. But rotator cuff injuries are apparently very, very painful. I don't know how I injured it. It could be that I overused it and my body didn't repair it because of my depression. And so I woke up with an injury. Now, I mean, it hurts to sit up. It hurts to lie down. Everything hurts. And it's in a new place. It's not my lower back, which is where it used to be. It's in my shoulder. But I mean, that's one of those things, as I say, this expired more than 10 years ago, and I still have it in my cabinet for the very simple fact of I don't take these kind of medications often enough to buy new stuff. I mean, next time I go to the store, I should probably get some new aspirin. Why I would get aspirin on a regular basis, I don't know, because I tend to suffer with the pain rather than medicate it. This might lead you to ask, why don't you just medicate it then? Well, there's a very good reason I don't medicate the pain. And that is because my old man took so many drugs that he eventually wound up giving much of my inheritance away to my stepmother. And I'm still battling in court over that. Let me remind you, of course, not that any of you care, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. Now, one of the things about joint injuries is that most people do not have the raw material with which to fix the problem. If you're working on a wooden ladder, you need wood. If you're working on muscles, you need protein. If you're working on joints and muscle connections, you need a joint complex. And you might say, well, yeah, but that's 5 years out of date. Okay, well, this was designed for people who work out, who break down their joints regularly. I don't work out, so I don't break down my joints regularly. So I basically take this only when I have joint pain. I took one yesterday. I'm feeling better today. It seems to be working. It may just be a coincidence, but I don't know. All right? But if I had thrown this out or used it, I wouldn't have it now. So there is some use to keeping things that are, like, particularly this is Best Buy, not expires on. So the people are saying, if you consume this after 2019, it is not going to be as good. This, I think it actually says expires. Expiration date, February 2008. Yes. So this is almost certainly, the thing they say about medications, though, is they don't become bad for you. They become less good for you. All right. Well, this stuff, it was weak to begin with. I mean, this is 81 milligrams per tablet. And I believe a maximum dose in a 4-hour period is 650. Don't quote me on that, but it's something I looked up online. And it's probably much larger because of my size. So, maybe there's only 40 milligrams or 20 milligrams in each tablet. But if you need pain relief of some kind, this is something you have. So having something as opposed to having nothing is theoretically better. I mean, if you are showering and you don't have any towels, that's much worse than having, say, a hand towel or a dish towel, because you could still dry yourself with that. It just is not as good. So that's kind of what this is. It's a dish towel when I need a body towel. All right. It's one of those things. You keep things that are still useful, sometimes because it's the only example of that thing you have. And, it's like, that's one of those great quandaries in life. What is it we should be throwing out? Okay, I could grab any number of items that are sitting under this podium. The capacitor for my air conditioning that no longer works. I should definitely throw this into the recycling bin. It's metal, it's electronics, so it would probably go into electronic cycling. This old box should be in the recycling bin. Wrapper here that should be in the trash. I really need to clean up in here. Yeah, but that's one of those things, is what do we keep and what do we throw away? And there's that whole book, the Decluttering, Japanese Art of Decluttering Your Life book. I've actually read it. And, I don't agree with the pick up every item and say, does it spark joy? Does it serve a purpose? I'm going to have to make the general statement that, one, if you're depressed, depression is why your house is a mess. Don't throw things out because your house is a mess. Throw things out because you want to get rid of them. But really, in all reality, you have so much space. And you're entitled to keep whatever fits in that space. This is kind of off topic because I started out talking about how miserable I am with my shoulder hurting, but this is where we've gone with it. And I mean, it's like, yeah, I have books everywhere in my life. I should get rid of a lot of my books. And I intend to once I read them, and I'm probably never going to read them. And I can tell you this much. If I sat down and started reading right now and stacked up every book I own, I would probably not be done reading in 30 years. That's common with books. Most people own a lot of books they've never read. And I mean, I'm not going to get any more books because I don't have the room for them. But that's not the issue. The issue is you should basically keep that which you have the room for. If you get more things, you should consider getting rid of things that you don't have the room for. There's no reason to get rid of something that might be useful if you have a good place for it. There's every reason to get rid of something that is not useful, and there's every reason to get rid of something that you don't have the room for. Anyway, made a video. Feel terrible. I'm Richard.
Oogog, Urganog. Daniel Ducky say YouTube gods need long outro so I can tell you comment, like, and subscribe so that this channel can pull trash out of ocean by buying matrices from For Ocean. Also, links to new video now appear. Comment, like, and subscribe, or be cursed by Ugatha. Danger Donkey approves.